Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox and take a close-up look at the Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2 and then try and pair it with my smartphone. So let's go ahead and open up the box. So we open up the box by of course removing the external clear packaging first. And then taking a quick look around the box of the Halo Sport 2. So the Halo Sport 2 is a neurostimulator or brain stimulator used for enhancing muscle memory development. Let's go ahead and slide the contents from the box packaging. So making sure to check through that nothing is left behind. So we set the outer box cover on the right hand side of the frame. And as you can see, the internal box has a main black color. Let's flip the box flap open to reveal the Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2. So you can see sitting nicely in the box packaging, just giving you a close-up look before I start handling it. So you have a nice unobstructed view of this neurostimulator. So you can see on the underside of the headband are the nibs or electrodes that stimulate the brain. So giving you that nice clear view inside the box right there of the Halo Sport 2 by Halo Neuroscience. So let's pop the contents out by lifting out the main headset tray. I'm going to set that down to the side and continue to remove the rest of the contents. So you can see there is a box at the bottom labeled accessories, and that's the box emptied. So I'm just going to set the box to the side right there, replacing it back in the outer box cover, and just setting that to the side for completeness right there. And okay, so what we do have is the Halo Sport 2 above, along with the accessories box. Let's find out what's in the accessories box by tipping the contents out, making sure nothing is left behind once again, and setting that accessories box down on the right hand side of the frame. So there is a packet of desiccant or silica gel along with a quick start guide and a product information leaflet and a charging cable as well. So there is a USB-C charging cable. So I'm just going to lay everything down first, so you have once again a complete view of the contents from the Halo Sport 2 box packaging. Okay, so we start off by first taking a look at the product information leaflet. So I'm going to give you a close-up look right here and opening it up. So there is some welcome information along with some warranty information and precautions. So 3 panels altogether, front as well as back. Okay, so that's the details of the product information booklet. I'm going to set that to the left hand side of the frame, and moving on, of course there is a quick start guide here front and back. So there is some support contact email as well as contact telephone numbers. And I'm going to fold it out so it does spread out pretty wide with multiple panels. So I'm gonna give you a close-up look for your reference to the details covering the Halo Sport 2. So it's all about hyperplasticity to give you all the brain enhanced learning in developing your muscle memory. Okay, so that's the quick start guide covered for the Halo Sport 2. I'm going to set it down into the side as well. And then of course we did have a quick look at the USB-C, USB Type A charging cable. I'm going to just slide it out from its sleeve right there to give you a closer look. So you can see right there, USB-C, which is good to see since it is one of the easiest charging or power cables to use, being that it is completely reversible. So that's the USB-C, USB Type A cable, setting that down and to the side. And lastly, of course, packet of silica gel. Always keep that away from children or toddlers or babies. And then we move on to the main event, which is the Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2. So this time around giving you an even closer look while it's still in its tray packaging right here. So it does have a nice light green color along with a main black color, and you can see the nibs on the underside of the headband are in a light gray. So the nibs will require wetting before use, so by running under a tap so that they are completely soaked, and that gives or provides contact to your scalp or head so that the electrodes can conduct the right amount of stimulation and provide contact to your brain, of course. So right there, or actually head, beg your pardon, not brain but head. So let's look on the underside, making sure that we undo the fasteners so they're not quite fastened in, just loosely, so which is quite alright. That's only an added measure since it sits pretty nicely in its tray packaging. So right there, checking through the underside, making sure nothing is left behind or secured on the underside, because sometimes there might be accessories or manuals stuck under there for different products. So giving you a nice good look right here at the Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2. So weight wise, it does feel rather solid. It does have a noticeable weight to it, because one thing I've noticed is that the headband has a brushed finish and is made out of metal, so it should be aluminium, and it's cool to the touch, of course, being metal. You can see the nice, very fine vertical brushed surface or finish. So overall, just a quick look so far. Construction looks really solid, really high quality. The weight is there though, so you have to bear in mind that this headset does have quite some weight to it. So we're going to give you that close-up look at the unit. So you can see the Halo branding very discreetly on the headband right there, and the kind of light grey gunmetal finish with brushed vertical stripes or brushing on the metal frame of the headband. So let's just check the orientation. You can see the left ear cup very clearly denoted with the left or L lettering and R for the right ear side. So looking outwards, it is in the orientation where left is on the left and right is on the right ear side. And the controls, as you can see, there are some buttons on the right ear cup side. So I'm going to give you, once again, that overall close-up look and detail. So this brain stimulator has these ear cups there, or has an integrated headset for music playback and phone calls as well. So there is a built-in microphone into the headset part of the brain or neurostimulator. So the neurostimulator is this underside inner band with the nibs, as you can see, 3 sections of it. That provides stimulation to your brain or to the brain. So you wear it for 20 minutes to neuroprime. And then once that 20 minutes is over, it will stop. And then you have about an hour long of hyperplasticity where you have enhanced learning capabilities. So that's where you utilize that potential to develop your skills. So giving you that close-up look once again to the nibs of this Halo Sport 2. In terms of feel, you can see they are rather soft and squishy, so they do compress slightly as I'm pressing directly down on them very lightly. Okay, and just showing you the flexibility of those nibs right there in close-up detail, and pressing directly down, they just kind of compress ever so lightly. So giving you that all-round look at this Halo Sport 2 brain stimulator. And of course it is removable as well, as in the inner strap or with the nibs. And also just going to give you a look in terms of the extension. So does it extend? No, it is a fixed headset. However, where it extends is on the ear cup side, where it slides out like that, and you can hear those clicks. So very sharp clicks right there, and they have a very positive feel to them. So right there, should you need to extend or adjust the headband to fit your head, you simply just slide out the ear cups right there. You can see there are multiple steps. So I'm going to slide it out to the maximum extension and still keeping the left ear cup in my left hand and right ear cup in my right hand. So maximum extension along the frame of the ear cups right there and right there. So there with the maximum extension, and in terms of the width, you can see that it does flex pretty nicely, and it is quite strong as well in terms of the stiffness. So it's going to stay in place even given the weight of the neurostimulator along with the ear cups headset as well. So right there, it's not really going to slide off as long as you are mindful and adjust the neurostimulator with the headset for perfect fitment. So right there, once again giving you that all-round look with the left and right ear side. And of course we did have a look at the underside, but this time around just mentioning the buttons and the ports as well, so you can see that USB-C charging port along with what might be the LED status indicator light, if not the microphone hole, along with the control buttons. So right there, they do have a very positive feel to them, as you can hear the nice firm clicks. And of course, quite importantly, very importantly, is the feel of the ear cup pads and cushioning. So right there, it does have a medium firmness to them. And they are foam padded, as you can see. They are quick to spring back. So regular foam padding. And just giving you that close-up look to the texture of the ear cups. So you can see the recess or the thickness of the ear cups, pretty thick in terms of the ear cup paddings before that inner mesh right there. So pretty hard surface on the inside, but nonetheless you have medium firmness padding, which is quite thick as well. So plenty of padding right there for this Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2. So we've taken a very good and thorough look all around this Halo Sport 2 Neurostimulator. And once again, just showing the left and right ear sides. And this time around, just setting the ear cups back right there. And that's in the most compact form. And then re-extending it, just showing you those clicks once again. So plenty of steps there for the right fitment. So fully extended now, right there. And let's turn it on by, of course, pressing and holding on that central pause button. Let's see if it turns on. Oh, actually, it is this top button here, I beg your pardon. So there is another button right there. And you can see this time around that is clearly the LED status indicator light right there. So the hole at the bottom side of the ear cup is the microphone hole. This one is the LED status indicator light and the power button right there. So as I showed you earlier, on the underside that is the microphone hole instead, followed by the USB-C port, and then pause and plus and minus controls. And then of course this should be the power button. So right there, pressing and holding to get it into the pairing mode. So just going to set it down and to the side and perhaps bump the volume up. And as I always mention, always read the instruction manuals before attempting to operate any form of electronic device. But nonetheless, here I do have my Sony Ericsson XZ3 smartphone, which I've unboxed on the channel before. And it's in the Bling's Slim TPU carbon fiber effect case, which I've also unpacked before. Let's go in and turn on Bluetooth. And of course there is an app as well, which is the Halo Sport app to utilize the brain stimulator. So first of all, let's get the audio paired so it can be done directly via Bluetooth or through the Halo app, so you can see the Halo Sport 2 has been found. Let's go ahead and tap to pair, and right there, let's allow and pair. And just like that, the headset is now connected for audio and calls. Let's test that audio out by going into the YouTube app and playing some trending music. So right there you can hear the audio playing through quite nicely, and this is of course a commercial. And now the audio is playing quite nicely. Let's check it out. So I'm going to put it on my head. And of course, going to play with the controls as well to lower the volume. So pretty responsive, and you might even hear me clicking away with the button clicks. So pretty responsive with pause, volume increase and decrease, and the sound is actually pretty impressive with very good insulation as well in terms of giving you that oral experience. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on and test the Neuro Stimulator out through the Halo app. So obviously we want to pause, so we can do that using the video controls as well. On the smartphone, let's just pause it there. Okay, and let's swap to the app. So we do have the Halo Sport app right there, which I've downloaded already. So let's tap on that for its first use. So you can see that prompt there, ready to neuroprime. So we need to pair the Halo Sport to the smartphone. So you can see the two models there, the Halo Sport, which is the predecessor, and the Halo Sport 2, which is this model that we're unboxing at present. So right there, it's asked for all kinds of permissions. Let's continue. Okay, so that option is in there. Okay, so what I need to do is go into the pairing mode. Let's see if we can do that. Let's turn the headset off and turn it back on. Into the pairing mode, you can see pressing and holding down so the blue light flashes. Perhaps just making sure we allow, and there we go. So all it wanted me to do was to allow the location permission, so the headset was in the right mode. So you can see the instructions there. Turn on headset, press and hold the button near the top on the right speaker to power on the Halo Sport and begin pairing. So you can see that it is on. And now let's pair. And you can see the status of that green status indicator light has changed and has now gone off, and it's now blinking very slowly. So there we go. So those are instructions there to wet the primer band. So the primer band is completely removable. So you need, as I mentioned, to soak it properly for about a minute so that it absorbs plenty of water, and that water is very important to provide contact to your head so that the electrodes can provide the proper stimulation to your brain. So right there, so just showing you the kind of instructions and details and guidance on how to use the Halo Sport 2. Okay, so there we go. So those are the steps. Obviously, I'm not going to do that right now. So that is just some information on how to start neuropriming and pairing your Halo Sport 2 headset, and of course testing the audio out for this video. So actually, before I do that, one last thing just to show you the band right here that can be removed. Let's try it. Might be a bit fiddly, but I think this is probably the most important part. So let's see if we can remove the neuroband, but of course, as I mentioned, to always read the instructions before attempting to try and so being very careful here. Right there you can see the primer band just coming off there and then popping it off. So it does come off very easily, effortlessly I would say, even as you saw me not using any pressure at all to remove this primer band here with its grey nibs. So this time around giving you an even closer look. So you can see just how soft. So it feels like it is made from silicone. So very soft to the touch. And just giving you that look once again. So it's nice and soft, as you can see, completely malleable or flexible right there. And on the reverse side of the primer band is that contact there, of course, to the headset or headband. Okay, so very simple, really light and flexible and completely soft and comfortable to the touch. And there's only one way to fit the primer band back in. Obviously, the instructions before use is to wet it underwater for about a minute. And it does have a magnetic contact as well right there. Obviously, just showing you a quick demonstration of that magnetism of the primer band to the underside of the headband fitment. So only one way to go in, with that arrow pointing in the correct orientation in relation to that mounting point there. So right there, it will click in place, and that's all there is to preparing the Halo Sport 2 before use. And you can see, back to the app, it does say start neuropriming. Obviously, we're not going to do this, but I'll just show you, and right there, some details that you might encounter and warning instructions. And then right there, it is loading up on the app right here, preparing your session. And then you can also adjust the level of stimulation as well, but that doesn't change the effectiveness of the neuropriming and hyperplasticity. So it'll do that for 20 minutes. And you can see that contact strength needs to be achieved at 100% for the Halo Sport 2 to work. So that contact is about the nibs making contact with your head. So very importantly, as I mentioned before, is to wet it thoroughly and press down on your head so that proper and full contact is achieved between the nibs of the primer band with your head. So you really have to get all your hair out of the way if you have plenty of hair. And that's that. So that's the Halo Neuroscience Halo Sport 2. Thanks for watching and happy stimulating!